Rideshare Professor here. So years and years back, I made this video warning drivers out there about this toxic relationship between Gett, Gett, and Juno. Now, what Juno was doing, it was collecting thousands and thousands of names, data on you, on me, with a big future promise. The coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. They took our data, our emails, our names, etc. I referred 15,000 drivers to Juno, right? Now, what Gett did over here, they acquired and bought all that information that you gave up on a future promise. You're supposed to get shares, blah, blah, blah. Nothing happened. 12 months later, nothing happened. Another 12 months later, nothing happened. I was on the phone with their directors, with their president, and I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on? And he's like, gave me another little soap story, try to butter me up. And I said, listen, basically, don't trust you at all. You need to take those capturing pages down. You're basically conning the public. That's all you are, a big fat con show, right? Now, they were operational in Juno. Juno was operational in New York. They had a little thing going there. They have now Gett announces closure of Juno, right? And a strategic partnership with Lyft. Now, this stinks, right? And this smells rotten here, my friends, because firstly, the way I perceive this company is that they basically stole all this data from us and did nothing for us, right? They all these promised incentives, all these promised shares on paper, right? In writing, the moment you agreed, nothing materialized from them, nothing materialized here. So this was a big shit show, a big con show, by these guys out of Tel Aviv, Israel, that were running that, and basically taking our data, taking 200 million. Now, I found out November the 18th, these guys are now doing a strategic partnership with Lyft. Now, I would argue legally, we have a promise that was entered into, and there have been lawsuits filed against Juno and Gett in New York about this. You can just Google Juno lawsuit in New York, and you can see that drivers sued Juno and Gett over this. I don't know if there was an out-of-court settlement of anything of this nature, but the bottom line is whatever Juno did, whatever Gett did, smells rotten. Even more rotten now smells that the fact that Gett is doing this partnership with Lyft. So Gett has all this data on you, all this data on a lot of drivers that paid $200 million. Now I ask myself, is Gett in bed with Lyft sharing that information, trying to do an alliance, right? I think Gett is pretty big overseas. I think they're big in Israel or Russia. I'm going to read the article. Don't know too much. What I do know, it was a big con show for years and years and years, stealing data between the two, and now this alliance with Lyft. This doesn't look good for Lyft, my friends. It doesn't look good at all, right? You got to say to Lyft, be honest, is any data from Gett on us being shared with you? So I don't like it. It stinks, and it stinks of like a rotten rat, my friends. Gett, the global leader in corporate on-demand transportation, which is also not a true statement, today announces the closure of its New York rideshare business, Juno, effective today. Gett also announces a strategic partnership with Lyft to enable Jett's corporate clients to access rides in the United States beginning next year, right? So they may have, what they're saying is that they have a database of corporate clients and they want to do some alliance with Lyft. I truly think it's way bigger than that, and I don't think that Gett and Lyft are being honest here about the details, and that is they're sitting on all that driver data. What's happening there? That is the big question. That is what should be shared here. Dave Weiser, Jett's CEO, I also wrote to him, commented, this development reinforces Jett's strategy to build a profitable company focused on the corporate transportation sector, a market worth $1 trillion each year. As a corporate transportation, sorry about that, as a corporate transportation leader, Gett serves over 15,000 companies, including a third of the Fortune 500, through the Lyft partnership. Gett's corporate customers traveling in the United States will be able to request rides through the Gett app and be matched with the driver on the Lyft network. This partnership will allow Gett to expand its reach across the United States seamlessly, serving its business clients on the Lyft network, all through Gett SaaS platform for business travelers. Now that may be a truly well-functioning, legitimate business. I'm not attacking that, right? What I want is more disclosure on this deal, knowing that these guys, at the end of the day, have all of our data, right? I didn't get nothing, zero for 15,000 referrals. I got a lot of promises, right? And, trying to go after these guys legally when these guys were hiding overseas, difficult thing. Gett has a differentiated business model. With this announcement, we reinforce our position as the leading corporate transportation service. I think they're trying to really ring the bells here and say, hey, this is our niche. Buy us, right? Buy us out or do something with us. Instead of competing with consumer ride-sharing companies, we are partnering with them. Our strategic partnership with Lyft is a win-win. Gett is a win. Gett is expanding in its reach across North America at the same time as we continue to see strong momentum in Europe, while Lyft benefits from the large number of Gett enterprise clients traveling to the United States. Now, they may see that as a win-win. I see our relationship with Gett from drivers as us lose, they win. They took all the data, right? Lyft and Gett need to elaborate on that, right? I want some sort of answer from this Gett guy. What is his name? Dave Weiser. What did you do with our data? What did you do about that promise? Are we still going to receive anything? At least for the drivers that I represent and fighting for and that signed up on my page. What are you going to give them, Gett? So Gett's anticipated profitability is driven by our corporate SaaS solution. They already said that. Juno is shutting down in New York today as a result of both Gett's increased focus on the corporate transportation sector. Juno drivers will be paid in full by Juno for all rides completed by Juno's service and date. All Juno riders will be invited to join Lyft, right? So I think, again, the New York base, right? And listen to the sentence. All Juno riders will be invited to join Lyft, right? Listen to it. It's exactly what I said. So obviously the New York people are let go. They'll be invited. But all the Juno drivers that were recruited by Gett and Juno, the data that they took from us without paying us out now, will be invited to join Lyft, right? So that's how I think they're going to share that data and not fulfill their promise. I would argue that's going to be a fat legal problem for them down the way. If somebody at Juno or Gett is willing to speak up, who is that data shared with that they took from us, that they stole from us, right? Are they just handing that over in some form of deal to Lyft? Lyft, you also have to be transparent, because I think otherwise Lyft is going to have a fat problem in the future, right? Because they took that data owned by Gett, right? That driver database, and we were actually promised, right? There's a promise, a written contract promise in there when we surrendered our information. So can we collect from Lyft at some point? So a little bit about Gett. Gett is the leading corporate SaaS solution for ground transportation across Europe and North America. Its cloud-based solution offers a unique ability to aggregate all ground travel needs by connecting a range of vendors on one single booking platform. Founded in 2010, Gett has always been very strong in the corporate segment. Immediately after launching the app in 2010, Gett signed its first corporate customer. Since then, over 15,000 corporations joined Gett service. And I'm sure they're doing a remarkable job on that level. I am simply questioning all this missing data and what Lyft's going to do with it, right? So Gett raised more than 800 million in venture funding, including 300 million from Volkswagen. Jett's most recent valuation was 1.5 billion. I guess they're hoping to be bought out. We shall see. But again, the question now to Lyft, do you have that data? Do you intend to honor that data? Gett, if you took that data from us and sharing it with Lyft, do you intend to honor that contract that the drivers entered into agreement with you, right? Question, that's a very legitimate question. I'm waiting for your answer.